So the second day of the project, or the state that we're doing attachments on, the pieces should be what we call leather hard. So we can feel it out of the bowl, and it won't move at all unless we forcefully grabbed it, and then it would break. Okay? So this state, when you feel it, this is called leather hard. Okay? Anytime you're doing attachments to a piece, when the clay is at a different state, so that obviously the clay is much thinner than the soft clay you would judge, you have to do an extra step on attaching, and that's called scoring. Stripping, has anyone done that before in a render board? Yeah. So just a review then of what we have here. So for this step, I'm just going to roll out a little smooth of clay or color, maybe not on the plastic. And we want this step to be like maybe the thickness of your index or pinky, depending on how large your hands are, so that's not too thick. And then I have a drawer that is a books and like the scissors and stuff that just go with like different circle widths. So help you plan out like what size, where should I put my foot, like what makes sense. So obviously this one is too wide because it starts coming after the curve. This one is too small. This one ends up being nice and perfect. So what I'm going to do is place that, and you would do this technique if on the snap board, that it's spinner board, a plate if you did a plate, or a hump board that you didn't put the foot on. Remember these are all hump boards. Ideally you got to fit on the same board, but if you didn't, then you need to store instead. So I placed a little mark. These containers after that, these yellow and white containers have slip it in. Slip is just liquid and clay basically. It's a powder not in mixed together, so it's like a yogurt consistency. So I'm just going to dip the foot in that slip, and then I'm going to do some really deep dive marks. So if I just do little baby scratches, that's not doing anything. We're making these big dive marks so that the clay can like re-interlock together to connect to each other. So the bigger dive marks, a little bit of slip is getting dried on it. So I also need to score the piece that's going there. So I'm going to score this here. And then I'm going to nicely place this. And I want to overlap it like that. I'll hold it up. I want to overlap it like that. So I can then cut through both to make it a perfect fit. Okay? And then, you want to like give this a little wiggle to help that clay go into those groove marks. So I'm just wiggling it gently on. I want to keep this as round as possible. And I'm going to do the same thing we did the first day. We took the bottling tool and blend a little bit of that clay on the inside all the way around. And then on the outside all the way around. So our goal is then to make this look like a glue from the top. So that all these tool marks that I'm making, we would then need to go back over. And I just recommend going over with like a finger. Now that most of our clothes are hard, we can introduce some moisture and water. So I would say you're just going to dip your finger in the water, and then you've got to smooth those connection points away. So that's this section here. You can see very much looks like a glue out of there, right? Versus over here, those stuck on elements that are done. So this all the way around, right? And you clean that up, okay? Now rims are so they're messy, plus the wrinkles or they're uneven. So what you're going to do for the rims, and it doesn't matter if you put the foot on first or you do the rim first. It's probably just smart to do the rim first, because then you can set it down. But we're going to take the wood tool, and it needs a little curve to it, okay? And we're going to scrape off any like special bunches on that surface. Okay? We also can, if like this looks thicker in some spots, we're going to screw it down from the outside, kind of thin out the rim so that it looks nice and light and elegant, okay? if you have big, like, marks, so we just don't like the texture on the back of it from the cloth, and maybe the cloth had wrinkles, we can keep doing some weather tooling. The texture doesn't bother me, so I'm just going to kind of leave it. So then it's clean, but now as it is blunt looking, the kind of square. So we're going to take a little bit of water that's at the sink, a little flat sponge to have all the water, so it's just moist, hold it over the rim, like this, and just round to soften where we just did. So that it doesn't look so blunt and sharp, but actually when it's fired and it's glazed, they actually really come sharp, and it's a toucher if you don't round off the edges. Okay? So really any project, any rim that's what you need to do, you zip to it, and then you pinch the sponge, the sponge around the edge, and then it starts to round it. So rounded versus sharp. Okay? And you can see that too. So that's finishing the step there. The last thing you would do, once this looks nice, in this part here, you need to at least put your initials and blocks. If you can put your whole name, that's even better. Because when I grade these, I just go over there with my computer and I try to figure out who it is. So the clearer your name is, the easier for me to grade it and faster. So you won't be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe I couldn't read your name. So definitely make sure you include the blocks, and at least I can do like, okay, who's got an A, K, and second block, and I can find you. Okay? To put your name here, you just take a pen tip or a pencil tip and carve it in just as you were writing your name. Alright? These are going to go down when you're happy with them, and the green goes there, so if I take a look behind you, that right there has two stars and a black corner. Anywhere over there where they're going to dry, once they're dry, I'll color them. And then I'll box them up, put them away until we're ready to push them. Okay? Now, if you get a hot rod, all you need to do is clean up the foot. So again, that's rib tooling, mounting to a sponge, and you add the amount of sponge, right? Same as if you did a wall pocket. Wall pocket, rather hard, all you need to do is clean up these edges, just like I showed with the rib tool, and the back, because this one doesn't have a foot right, but we want the back to look nice, so take a second, if there's pesky dusties, rib tool that, sponge it a little bit, and then you'll come to me. You'll come to me to put the tool to put a hole in it. So these tools here, at my best, we're just going to slowly twist and push it through. And you could do one, you could do two holes, whatever you want. The key to this though is you don't want to put it too close to the edge, because what happens if I put this really close to the edge? It's going to process it, right? So at least give yourself a finger and then put the hole in it, okay? So that's easy cleanup for that one. Now if you did a cut and you want to do a handle, you do first need to do all your cleanup. So I would rib tool where my seams were, I'd rib tool the whole part, I'd give it a good sponge rub down, I'd clean up the rim, all that jazz. And then I need to put a handle on it. I'm recommending that you put the handle right where you attach the seam. Okay, because most likely, when you did the seam, some of the textures got wrong, so we're going to hide that little imperfection by putting a handle there as well. So to do a handle, pull out of this area, you need a board, you need some clay, whatever that person it is, okay? So don't put some clay and kind of roll it into a curve, as I said. Bigger on one side, smaller on the other. And then we're just going to put water down on this board, and we're going to put our hands, and we're going to stretch the thread. Okay? And we're going to rotate it, and we're just stretching that clay out. Picking it up. You can also tip it up to do it. So this is called pulling a handle. So, what shape is a handle? Half a heart, a question mark. Oh, no, 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 no. because then what that's going to give us is like a nice curve up on my nub. That's then we're going to get that hash. But we've got to do square and square, and square and square and square, and big deep dives, big deep dives. The Honda is very soft since we filled it with water, so we need to be very gentle with it. But we get that nice curve up from that cut, and then we kind of wiggle it onto the square mat. But this is what I'm talking about, this nice curve up. So instead of like a slow U-handle, that key to get that is that 45-degree cut, okay? And then we're going to blend it in like we did our other attachments. Take the little modeling tool and blend it in, okay? But I would do all the other cleanup first, because imagine now trying to clean up the rim, and all this is just goes by the handles, right? So handles would be last after the touch would be the first, and ready to go, okay? So we feel good about our next step? Okay. So to